Morning folks. Yes, this video is filmed on the same day as my last two on my channel. Toy one and the cubing 6 days to go, which 6 was on that board, and that piece of paper is still there. No, these videos were not filmed in chronological order, and they were not uploaded in chronological order, although this is on a different channel. This is on the Cube Lab. I am George and E, or George and Air, or just George, or whatever the hell you want to call me. I am the weird one from England that wears glasses and wears it, and that piece of paper does not refer to it at all. I'm also the one that likes 7x7 the most and has the black timer, which is completely useless because it has no external port. Yeah, whatever. It's just an email. So this video is just going to be a simple 7x7 walkthrough solve with commentary, and hopefully I'm going to do it in it won't be a 7-minute or sub-7 solve. I doubt it's going to be even sub-8 if I'm going to be doing commentary. But we'll see. So, alright. Just pre-commentary. First thing I do is the white centre. I don't do the 5x5 block in the middle. I do a 3x3 block in the middle. This scramble quite kindly has a 2x2 already built in the white centre, as well as a 2x1 block here, which is quite nice, and yellow blocks. You've got a yellow block there and a yellow block there, as well as some other yellows on this side. So that's what I would look for pre-inspection, just the white bits and possibly some yellows, because I like to build the white 3x3, yellow 3x3, then expand the white to the 4x4, and then the 5x5, and then do the yellow, rather than all the whites and all the yellows. Don't ask me why, I just do. I then do the others like this, using a sort of free slicey method, rather than doing it and bring it all back and then messing it up again and bring it all back. I just kind of mess it up, solve it, mess it up, solve it, bring it back. Right, okay. So that's way over 15 seconds of inspection, but I'm not really taking any attention, plus I'm talking to you, so I can't remember most of that. I can't remember where the greens and the blues and the oranges and the yellows are. I'm just remembering where the whites are at the moment. So I would have figured out all of the white 3x3 pre-inspection. I just would have done so. Here's my timer. It is on 0. Okay, it is a real one. See it running. Stop. Okay, that's 1.17. Yep. So here we go. Done the white 3x3 already. I've done a yellow 2x2. Yellow 3x3. Now I'm seeing on the white. Okay, I just did a yellow one there because I ran out of white pieces that I could put together really easily. Plus, I quite nicely brought down 2 yellow pieces that were together, so it kind of made sense to do them. Right. Now I've got all the white off the yellow side, which makes the solve even easier. But I have one white piece stuck on the white centre. Okay, that's the white centre done. I'm now just building up the yellow centre. Okay, that is the white and yellow centres built, with commentary as well as 2 pauses and an almost pop in basically 1 minute 30. I mean, that point 2 is basically 1 minute 30. Tips on getting 1:30, just freestyle it. Don't do 1x5 bars unless you see a really easy 1x5 bar that you can put in, because once you've put a 1x5 bar in, you have to do the rest in 1x5 bars. There's no other way of doing it. Whereas if you put a 3x3, you can put blocks of 3 in, or blocks of 3, 4, 4, 4 in, or blocks of 3, 4, 5, 4, or you can break it up and then change it. So you can, if you put this bar of 3 in, this bar of 3 in, then you can put these bars of 2 in, then do the rest in 5s, or this in sets. So you're much more, you have to, if you do 1x5s, you have to do it 1x5, 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 1x5. If you do it with the 3x3 in the centre, there's many more ways you can do it. You're not as set. Plus, you're more likely to come across a 1x3 or 1x2 that's already built, or 3 that are in the same row. It just makes it much easier. So we remember that. 1 minute 30 for the 2 centres. Now, I know I shouldn't inspect this anymore, but purely because I've been talking and I've forgotten what I would have seen at the end of doing centres, I'm going to just to do a very quick, to work out what colour I would do. Okay. I went for orange. These, I usually always do them using the 1x5 method, and as you can see, I'm free slicing them, i.e. they're not all together. I've got one here, and 2 there. For the final one, I always bring them together, because then I only need to move potentially the L faces. Now that is the orange done. Now on the blue, that's my middle bar done. Okay, that's that bit done. I don't know what to call it. 3x5 block done. I'm now on my least favourite part of the entire solve, which is finishing off the 4th centre, and then I get to the last 2 centres, which is one of my favourite parts of the solve, because there is no set method whatsoever of doing this. You can literally do it any way you want, and I am completely failing this at the moment. Okay. Now, you can always get four of the relevant colour into the last block. Oh. You can always get 4. Always. You can always get the 2 corners, the centre, and one of the others. Always. Sometimes, I think it's 1 in 12, you can get all 5. But you can always, 100% of the time, get 4. That is all the centres done in 220, 250 in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. With commentary, you would usually be doing that around 3 minutes 20-ish. 3 minutes 20-ish. Obviously I would have had the inspection from the starter, and I would have had during inspection from the first few centres for the last 4. I then would shoot straight onto edges with no pauses, and I wouldn't be talking. Obviously I'd be focusing a lot more, and I wouldn't be sat in such an awkward position. I'd be sat in slightly more comfortable position with the timer at the right level, because it comes down here and the cube starts down here. I have to bring it right all the way up. Plus I've got to keep it in shot while I'm solving. I can't be solving it down here because you can't see it. What I then do is I put the yellow and white on opposite sides, so I have the red and orange and blue and green around the centre, and I do M slice pairing like so. So if you remember 350-ish, just reset the timer again. That one, naught again. Okay, now what I see is these white, orange, white, orange, white, orange. So yes, I do free slice. I mean, that'd be a bit silly to do M slice pairing and not free slice, wouldn't it? I mean, I used to do that, but it just got far too much to handle. Lock up. Okay, that is all the white edges, white green, white blue, white red and white orange, as well as lots of free slicing done in 55 seconds. It's 3:55, about 4 minutes 45, sorry, 4 minutes and 45 seconds to get the first 4 edges done. The next 4 you have to do the 4. It's 4 minutes 35. I've got to write it down somewhere. 4:35, 4:35, 4:35, 4:35. Right. There's 4 minutes 35 to get the first 4 edges up to the first 4 edges. I'm going to do the next 4 edges, which could be any 4 edges. It's best if you don't do all the yellows because then you end up with colours that are very similar. It's easy just to get the whites out of the way because they're the easiest to see. Plus, while you're doing centres, you're not really thinking about edges, but while you're doing edges, you are scanning every single other edge. So, from here, I would probably think about doing the whites and the yellow and green, because I've got 2 yellows and green here, and I've got yellow and green down here, as well as yellow and green over here. So I would hold the cube like this, spin this around, bring them together, and then put this one in. So, I'm on 4 minutes 35. Was it 4 minutes 45? It's 4 minutes 45. I think it's 4 minutes 45. I don't care anyway, it's only 10 seconds. But, alright, 4 minutes 45 up to the first 4 edges. This video is probably like 6 minutes long right now, but yellow and green done. Okay, I now see absolutely nothing. Right, so yellow and blue. Okay, that was a pop. Okay, that is the next 4 edges done and centres repaired in 53 seconds. I'll just count that as another 55. So down to 40. So we're now at 5 minutes and 40 seconds. 5 minutes and 40 seconds, centres and 8 edges, leaving just the M layer edges to be paired. And there is a specific way I go about this, which is to get sets of 3 in the middle, because then you can just do a 5x5 parity, you don't have to worry about slice parities, and then do the rest as 5x5. And then so you might end up doing the parity album twice instead of only once, but for 9 seconds at 7 minutes is not really. And most of the experts do this anyway, if they have to. Like if they can't see anything else, they'll do it this way. But if they can see things where they can put a 3x3 in and put a 4th one or even the 5th one as well in and do it all in one go, they will. So I actually see I've got this red and blue here, so I can just ignore them. I've got an orange and blue here, 2 orange and blues here, so I can just bash this one to there, solve that pair, as well as I don't think I'll get a parity, but hey ho, let's find out. I'm going to do all the last 4 edges and the parity and then finish. Right, so bash it in, flip, bash it in, flip. Yes, I'm going to get a parity. Right, bash it in, flip, bash it in, flip, bash it in, flip, bash it in, flip. I'm going to get another parity here. Okay, that's now all 12 edges complete, as well as double parity, and that is a 58. I'll take that as a minute. So that's now 6. That's now 6 minutes 40. I told you I wouldn't subset them because I've still got the final solve. The final solve takes me around a minute, and I do use colour neutral because I've already got an orange attached. I've already got a red attached, but I can see the orange cross much easier because I've got the green here, the orange here, and the white here, so I can do that, and I've got half my cross built. Okay, 6 minutes 40. If I do this in around a minute, that's good, but I'm going to be commentating, so. Okay, I don't know how I did that, but I somehow messed it up. Loving the Petra skills. Loving the Petra skills. I actually messed up the cross, forgot to put one edge in, put 2 F2L pairs before I mentioned him, and then realised that all the edges were already properly oriented, so I could do the rest of the F2L only using one F. In fact, no, one of the edges, 2 of the edges were properly oriented, so I did one F move, so the rest of the F2L undid the F move. All the top edges were already oriented, so I oriented the corners, ended up with a T-plan, and I did the final solve in 43 seconds. If I got that on a 3x3 using Petras, I'd be happy. Yeah. That's like an average time on a 3x3. So that's 7 minutes 20-ish. So that would have been a 7 minute 20 full solve with commentary. So without commentary, I reckon that would have been a 6:50 odd. But only because the first centre was ridiculously easy and the final solve, although I messed up, was ridiculously easy, and I only had one pop. One almost pop, just hiccup there. But all in all, that was a pretty good solve. But it's a pretty average solve, really, for commentating. Also in awkward positions with time. I'm stop complaining now. My legs. Oh, that felt weird. My legs back. To finish, that piece of paper is not important at all. That board does not say the number 6 on it, even though this video was filmed after all the others. That clock is probably wrong up there. I'm not racist. Just because there's a gollywog over my shoulder. Just hide it just in case it's illegal on YouTube. Anyway. Yeah, what on earth are those bars doing on the screen? Okay. That's a bit weird. Yeah, that was a 7 minutes 20 commentary solve by George and for the Cube Lab. You can come what the hell you like. I'm the one from England that hates speaking to a camera, despite the fact I'm doing it now. I'm using myself as the audience. That's why my eyes aren't looking directly at the camera all of the time. My glasses always fall down my head because my head is quite small, and the glasses are huge, and I just look stupid without them. My legs. What do I want to say? Bye. Live long and prosper.